What's up everyone? In this video I'm going to talk about the legendary Nikon D700. Before I get into why I love using my Nikon D700 so much and why most photographers love using it, let's get to the specs real quick. The Nikon D700 has a 12.1 megapixel full frame sensor. The ISO ranges from 200 to 6400 and it can be boosted up to 25,600. It will say high 2.0 and that's going to be the 25,600. For a 14-year-old camera, that was definitely ahead of its age and some of its rivals when it was released. It has 51 autofocus points, it has a 3-inch LCD screen, and it also has the AF screw, so you can use the older Nikon AFD lenses on it. I'm going to list the 5 things I really like about the Nikon D700. The image quality, the low light performance, the smaller image files, the way it feels, the ergonomics of it. For me personally, I think 12 megapixels is more than enough, especially if 99% of your work is on social media. For print work, there's been plenty of videos and blogs about it, and I think if someone viewing your print is more focused on the pixelated image instead of the overall image, then it's probably the image that's not connecting with your viewer. 12 megapixels is more than enough. No one is gonna go on social media and zoom in all the way, and if they do, it's most likely the image is really compressed already because that's just how social media is. And just going to the Nikon D700 low light performance. I'm not afraid to use the ISO ranges between 1000 and 4000. And of course there's a lot of factors that go into it because of the amount of light you get to work with, but even at an ISO 3200, that grainy is just very unique, very different from my Nikon Z6. It's just something about that Nikon D700 noise that just makes the image feel more authentic. A lot of Nikon D700 users, comment below and let me know what you think about the low light performance. And then going back to the small raw files. I love the 12 megapixel raw files. I definitely prefer working with smaller files. I've worked with the Nikon D800 and D810 files and those are just gigantic. If you don't have a computer that's up to spec, it could definitely slow down your workflow. Going back to the Nikon D700's files, it's amazing to work with. Right now I have a 16 gigabyte CF card and it's showing me that I can get about 780 images on it, and that's with just raw files, not raw plus JPEG. These are just raw images. So what makes the Nikon D700 such a legendary camera? For me, it's the image quality, low light performance, and the ergonomics. I really love how this camera feels in my hands. It definitely gives you a very confident feeling. Holding this Nikon D700 and my Nikon Z6, I just feel like the Nikon D700 just gives you that confidence versus the Nikon Z6 is definitely my workhorse. Right now I'm using it to record, but it just feels different. I can't really explain it. Hold a Nikon DSLR tank like this and you hold the Nikon Z6. There's just something about the DSLR that just feels great in your hands. The low light performance is great, like I said before, at ISO 3200. Even that grain noise gives your images a very special characteristic. It's a very unique feeling to those images. So right now I would even say the Nikon D700 in the used camera market is probably the best camera to get, especially if you're looking for a cheap full frame DSLR camera. So if you can find one that's still in good condition for about under $400, I would say pick it up, especially if you're looking for one. I picked this one up at my local camera shop for about $350. It only has about 25,000 shutters on it now. I've been using it a lot, so I'm gonna guesstimate it has about 25,000 shutters. Like I said, again, I'm really shocked that I got it for such a great price. There are no missing rubber pieces on it and it's still in excellent shape. If you had a Nikon D700, please comment below and share your experiences with it. I love bringing this camera around and just having photographers kind of look at me strangely, give me that talk about how outdated it is. If you have had a similar experience about how, photographers talk to you, how outdated this tech is, comment below, let me know because I want to know too. I just got the 80-200 2.8 at my local camera store and the person behind me told me it was obsolete, just like this camera. Supposedly. I couldn't believe it and I didn't want to debate. I do love these older Nikon lenses and these Nikon DSLRs. Also, let me know what your favorite lens you use. Right now, my favorite lens to use is the Sigma 35 1.4 Art and the 50mm 1.8G. It's a struggle between those two whenever I go out, but at the end of the day, it just really depends what event I'm going to or what car show or what kind of portrait photography I'm doing. But it's always going to be those two that are stuck on this camera. So what makes the Nikon D700 a legend to you? Or if you have had this camera before, comment below and let me know what you think about it. And I hope this video helps for people who are looking for a Nikon D700 or a full frame camera. This is an excellent candidate, especially if you're just focusing on your photography. And photography is definitely not dead. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching everyone. See ya.